Welcome back to another NHL 25 ESHL build video. First off, I have to say thank you guys so much for all the support on these builds so far. And we are going to be getting into one of the builds that you guys commented. Actually, a couple of you guys have commented that you want to see. We are going to be making the best playmaker build that I think for this year. So, of course, for our archetype, we are going to rock with a playmaker. For our height, this is going to be a little bit different. I know a lot of times I like to go minimum height kind of so that we have that maximum speed. However, I'm going to go 6'1" for the playmaker build. Reason being, when I think of a playmaker, I think this is a really good build for a center. So when you're a center, you don't want to just be fully like offensive. I feel like you want to have at least a little bit more defense in your build. So being 6'1", kind of having that longer stick will definitely help us have a little bit more defense for when we play center. If you're using this build on the wing, you are of course more than welcome to go 5'9", but we are of course still going to go 160 pounds so we can still be pretty fast. Shooting preference is of course completely up to you. I go left-handed, but choose whichever hand you want to shoot with, and abilities and boosts we'll come back to as always. First, for your technique attributes, we are of course going to add 5 to our speed. We're going to add 2 to our agility, take 3 off your slap shot accuracy, 2 off wrist shot accuracy, and 2 off your balance as well. Reality is your accuracy attributes for your shots do not have to be that high. Whether you have a 75 or you have an 80 or you have a 90 even, it's really not going to make that much of a difference in your shooting. You really will not notice a difference with that. Next, for your power attributes, we are of course going to add 5 to our acceleration. We're going to add 1 to our endurance. Then we're going to take 5 off wrist shot power, because same thing. If you don't need the power or accuracy for any type of ability, there really is no reason to kind of max out your slap shot and wrist shot power unless you're just trying to shoot some absolute piss missiles. But even then, I'm pretty sure that between the difference of like 85 and like 90 slap shot and wrist shot power is really not a big difference, if a difference at all. But I may do some testing on that. If you want me to do some testing on that, let me know down in the comments below if shot power actually matters this year. But then we're going to take 1 off our slap shot power, and we're going to take 3 off our puck control as well. After that, for your playstyle attributes, we're going to add 3 to passing, 3 to offensive awareness, then add 2 to defense awareness, because like I said, I'm kind of expecting this build to be used more at center. That's where I've been using it, so I've wanted a little bit of defense, and of course having defensive awareness does help with those passing lanes and stuff. Then we're going to take 4 off stick checking, as like I said, I don't think that's a super important attribute. And we're going to take 1 off body checking as well. Then for your tenacity attributes, we're going to add 3 to hand eye, 2 to strength, take 5 off shot blocking, and 4 off your durability as well. And finally, for your tactics attributes, we are of course going to add 5 to our face-offs, 3 to deking, because EA actually allows us to increase our face-offs and increase a different part of our build. If you didn't want to increase deking and you'd rather go discipline, you're more than welcome to do so, of course. But I decided to do that. Then take 5 off your fighting skill and 4 off your discipline as well. Now, going back to our zone abilities, for our zone ability, you can of course go with any of these abilities that you would like. However, I would recommend one of these two, and that's either magnetic or puck on a string. Reason being, magnetic helps keep the puck on your stick a little bit better, and kind of it's almost a counter to like puck control, it feels like. And also, not to mention, when you are getting past those hard passes, when you do get 1-Ts and the puck goes across the crease and your player just straight up misses it, you shouldn't really get any of those, if any at all, when you do have the magnetic ability, because it does help with those as well. However, I'm deciding to go with puck on a string. Reason being is it feels like puck control on crack, basically, with puck on a string, especially on gold. This ability is super good. It helps shooting. Actually, it feels like it increases your shot a little bit when you use puck on a string. If you see it light up, it feels like you get a little bit of a kick in your shot power. Let me know if y'all think the same thing down in the comments below. But that's why I'm going with puck on a string. Now, this part is going to be a little bit weird because we actually have to go over to our boost first before we go and get one of our abilities, because we are going to use booming slapper, and as you see, that will give us 82 slap shot power, which gives us just enough slap shot power to use that 1T ability. I love 1T this year, especially with the new timed one-timers. It gives you absolute rockets, so I've been rocking with 1T heavy this year. Then for your second ability, if you wanted to, you could go with pretty much anything. If you wanted to go with magnetic, if you went with puck on a string gold, you could go with that, or vice versa if you ended up going with magnetic gold. But what I'm actually going to be rocking with, like I said, this build is a center for me, at least. If you wanted to use it at wing, you're more than welcome to. but as a center, I like to at least have a little bit of defense with my build. So I am, of course, going to go with quick pick. If you wanted to use stick 'em up, you could. All you'd have to do is increase your stick checking by 1 more. So that would not be difficult to do at all. But I'm actually going to go with quick pick on this build. Then for our last boost, you're more than welcome to go with whatever you want for this one as well. But with endurance being the way that it is this year and kind of how quick you lose it after a big hit, when there's pressure, if the other team's on a penalty power play, endurance is an absolute necessity. So we are going to be using power cardio for our other boost on this build. And this is how we created what I believe to be one of, if not the best playmaker builds in NHL 25 so far. If you are enjoying the builds and you do enjoy the video, please feel free to drop a like, comment any other types of builds you want to see down below, whether it be player or just builds in general like this. It will be greatly appreciated, and I do see all of your comments, so I'm trying to make as many of these videos for y'all as I possibly can. And of course, sub with noties on so you don't miss any of these bangers, and so you don't miss when the player build series starts up again very, very soon for y'all. I greatly appreciate you boys watching. Hope to see you in the next one. Peace out, y'all.